Okay, great. So we've added a bit more coverage in the under eyes and just around certain areas like the nose and whatnot. You can see I've even added a little bit more just here because we had a little bit of a kind of a blue tone here. So what we're going to do next, because Sarah mentioned to me, oh, you know, I really like the idea of getting a bit of shape and shading and whatnot. And we're going to use a bronzer, a matte bronzer. If you can get your hands on a creamy bronzer, that's also great as well. But I'm going to use a powdery one, and I'm just going to use my angled brush, okay? The areas that I'm going to put it on, specific to your face shape, Sarah, I mean, you've got really, really good cheekbones, so I think we're going to emphasize that for sure. But you've got a lovely face shape. I think it's just about emphasizing. Your concern is kind of a little bit more around the nose, so I'll show you how to do that too. What we're going to do is just get a little bit of bronze and bring a bit onto the forehead. Okay. If you find that your forehead, not in your case, Sarah, but if you find that you've got a much kind of fuller forehead, a lot more going on, use the bronzer to shade away any areas that you want to make look smaller. Okay. Now on Sarah, I'm just kind of using it just to give a bit of colour. But if you do find that your forehead's quite big, that's a very good handy tip.
I do think my forehead's quite big.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I would say just to reduce it in size, we don't want to narrow it because you've got like a nice slim face, but just kind of concentrating more towards the hairline.
Okay.
Keeping it nice and bright in the middle, but just concentrating towards the hairline. Okay. So let me just make sure that's blended away. Yeah, we don't want too much bronze there. I am just going to make sure that that's still nice and bright. Just to kind of broaden this area here. And then with a bit of bronzer, we're going to go in and we're going to, just turn that way for me. Fabulous. Tuck that right underneath the cheekbone. Okay. Notice I'm not doing, some people give that tip of like that C shape or that 3 shape. I don't want to do that because I don't want to bring a lot of bronzer onto this area. So I think it's very important to really, specify and really tailor your makeup routine to suit you. And because Sarah's got a lovely slim face, we're going to avoid putting too much on the outer edges. And then a little bit just on the jawline here and onto the neck. Now it's absolutely imperative that you have a brush that you just use to blend it all together, something with nothing on it or just your clear translucent powder. Okay, I'll do the other side in just a moment, but I want to just show our viewers what I was kind of talking about down the nose as well. Now, where's your main concern about your nose, Sarah?
I think it's quite long and it sticks out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm laughing. I shouldn't laugh. It's just that nose is supposed to, and it's just interesting listening to, because I don't like my nose, and it's just interesting listening to you.
Yeah. I mean, I know you end up, once you focus on something, that's all you see, but...
Yeah.
And as I've got older, I've become less concerned about it, but still when I look at a photograph, that's the first thing I see.
Okay.
My nose.
Right. Well, if you want to make it seem a little less prominent, yes, get a little bit of bronzer in on the areas. Oh, I'm grabbing my brush. Sorry. On the areas that you want to shorten or make kind of disappear. Okay. So making sure that you have maybe a little bit of bronzer or a darker concealer. Okay. And I'm just going to put a little bit just on the end of the nose because that area there is kind of, that's where it's looking kind of longer, right? And we're going to put a little bit on the sides of the nose to make it look a little bit smaller as well. Okay, if you want to get really specific, get a small thin brush like this and kind of go along the sides. Now, I'm not going to make your nose any thinner, but I'm going to kind of just make it a little bit more defined just by going along the side of the nose, okay? And that's just kind of very, very subtly just taken the kind of light away from the end of the nose. So your main focus when you look at your nose in photos now will just mainly be the bridge.
Okay.
When you're highlighting, which I'll show you very quickly after, don't bring any highlight down towards the tip of the nose.
Okay.
Okay?
So that was the bronzer that
That
you've
was
just
the
done
bronzer.
that, right? Okay.
Yeah, okay.